jaw.
Your thoughts on this Mike Tyson and Jake Paul fight?
Oh jeez, I don't. It's a bit strange. You know, is my interest? The interest is a low one. I don't know. I don't really.
Conor McGregor, a UFC superstar, has ruled out any interest in the impending bout between Mike Tyson and Jake Paul. He doesn't see why this conflict is so appealing. However, Tyson Fury thinks this bout is fantastic for boxing as a whole. Given that two well-known boxers are facing off in the ring, he thinks that this fight has the potential to spark a lot of interest in the sport.
You know, I think it's fantastic for boxing. You know, you got a legend in Mike Tyson. You've got a YouTube boxer who's come into the game and blew it up, and he's got millions of followers and millions of views.
The fighters' perspectives of the bout diverge. Chael Sonnen is grateful to Jake Paul for taking the fight in an effort to transform boxing.
Everything else, he was excited that he is one half of this on Netflix who is going to revolutionize boxing. And that, for me, is also the most intriguing part. What does
The boxing community's perspectives on this bout are unexpected. Some people believe that this war shouldn't happen, but many others support it. But what were the opinions of specialists regarding Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul? Stay tuned as we discover in this video that the boxing industry is abuzz over the impending bout between Mike Tyson and Jake Paul, which has elicited differing views from some of the most well-known names in combat sports. Some people think this bout is fantastic for boxing, but many others think it is a mismatch of epic proportions and are against it happening.
Your thoughts on this Mike Tyson and Jake Paul fight?
Oh jeez, I don't. It's a bit strange. You know, is my interest? The interest is a low one. I don't know.
Conor McGregor is one well-known individual who opposes the battle between Mike Tyson and Jake Paul. In a brief and direct statement, he stated his doubts and skepticism about the fight, calling it weird and casting doubt on its general appeal. McGregor's observations show a sophisticated awareness of the fight's wider ramifications for both the fighters and boxing as a whole. To start, McGregor notes that the fight is unique and that he believes there isn't much interest in this kind of battle. He expressed his confusion about the combination by describing the fight as strange, emphasizing that Paul and Tyson's age difference was a significant consideration in his evaluation. Given Tyson's advanced age and the years since his peak, McGregor suggests that the fight may lack the competitive gravitas or sporting legitimacy usually associated with high-profile boxing matches. The main focus of McGregor's doubts is if Jake Paul's win was truly legitimate. If Paul prevails, he asks a hypothetical question that gets right to the core of the issue. Would it really be considered a victory over the Mike Tyson that boxing history knows and loves? According to McGregor, beating an elderly Tyson who is not even close to his former self would not be the same as beating the Tyson who was the sport's dominant force. This is an important distinction for McGregor because it appears that he is arguing that the result of the fight, no matter who wins, may not merit the respect or credit that usually follows a boxer's victory over a legendary opponent like Tyson. Speaking about the fight's marketing, McGregor notes that Tyson and Paul are both skilled trash talkers, so there will be an exciting build-up. He doesn't seem convinced about the fight's merits, though, and even suggests that the spectacle could eclipse the athletic merits statement. That the bout is streaming for free on Netflix further implies that this fight is being viewed more as a media extravaganza than a conventional boxing match. However, Tyson Fury, the well-known heavyweight boxing champion, took a noticeably different stand regarding the Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson bout, acknowledging McGregor's misgivings about it. In his interview with The Stomping Ground, Fury shares an enthusiastic viewpoint that is well aware of the wider ramifications for the boxing industry. Fury describes the impending fight as a fantastic show, a description that perfectly captures his opinion of the fight as something more than just a fight. It's an occasion that goes beyond boxing's traditional bounds, fusing the sport's past, present, and future through the peculiar pairing of a highly regarded heavyweight legend and an up-and-coming YouTube star.
You know, I think it's fantastic for boxing. You know, you got a legend in Mike Tyson. You've got a YouTube boxer who's come into the game and blew it up, and he's got millions of followers and millions of views.
Fury sees the fight as a special chance for boxing, which is why he is so optimistic about it. He recognizes Mike Tyson as a famous character whose influence on the sport will never fade. Longtime boxing fans are drawn in by Tyson's involvement because it evokes a sense of nostalgia and historical grandeur. On the other hand, Jake Paul represents a new era of boxing that is closely linked to social media influence and a younger, more technologically aware audience. Paul's participation in the bout serves as a point of entry for this audience, many of whom may not have been regular boxing spectators. Because the bout has the ability to cross generational boundaries, boxing will benefit from the heavyweight champion's support. According to Fury, this incredible IC will help expose the sport to a larger and more varied public, which will secure its continued growth and viability. He contends that the bout serves as an example of boxing's adaptation, creativity, and relevance in a rapidly evolving entertainment industry. Fury discusses the fight's financial ramifications and notes the massive profits it will bring in. Fury views this aspect, which is frequently criticized, as a success since it shows how appealing the fight is and how ready the audience is to pay for it. The difference between McGregor's doubts and Fury's zeal is reflective of the conflicting feelings the fight has caused in the larger boxing world. Some see it as a publicity stunt that compromises the integrity of the sport. Some see it as a brilliant marketing and engagement move that brings boxing to a younger, new audience. McGregor's position stems from his reverence for the legendary boxers of history as well as the sport's rich history. His doubts regarding the fight's competitive credibility are rooted in his fear that defeats of former champions, especially those who are far past their prime, might not be as significant as those who were at the top of their game. This viewpoint is representative of a larger worry regarding the popularity of celebrity boxing contests and how they affect the public's opinion of the sport. McGregor worries that these shows could take away from the true spirit of the sport and transform it into a kind of entertainment that lacks the intense competitiveness that is at the heart of it. Fury's point of view recognizes the shifting nature of audience interaction and the necessity for sports to change in a time when social media and digital platforms have revolutionized the way people watch and enjoy sports. Fury views the Paul vs. Tyson bout as a chance to increase boxing's popularity. His endorsement of the bout demonstrates a practical understanding of sports' entertainment value and ability to attract new followers. Fury sees the spectacle as a calculated strategy to keep boxing current and appealing to younger generations who might not be conventional boxing lovers. Fury values the spectacle's potential to spark enthusiasm and discourse around boxing. The core of the argument centers on how to strike a balance between upholding boxing's integrity and traditional competitive principles and the necessity to innovate and adjust to shifting consumer preferences. McGregor is an advocate for the sport's historical relevance and purity. Fury welcomes the possibility of development and modernization through well-publicized events that pique public interest. This argument reflects larger conversations about the value of heritage, tradition, and authenticity in an increasingly digitized and fast-paced world that are taking place in many sports and entertainment industries. It draws attention to the difficulties and possibilities traditional sports have in sustaining their cultural and financial relevance. Depending on how one feels about these bigger issues, one may view the Paul vs. Tyson battle as a disturbing break from tradition or as a beneficial progression. Although Mike Tyson is a beloved figure in the sport, it takes a lot of bravery to take on an icon like Jake Paul. Paul may have the advantage in this bout. Chael Sonnen is grateful that both Mike Tyson and Jake Paul are attending this fight not just as competitors, but also as sports enthusiasts who have overcome their early positions to take center stage in a momentous occasion. He claims that this viewpoint is similar to the allure of Mark Cuban's success story in that it highlights the relatability and authenticity that result from being a sincere fan who later rose to prominence in the field. When talking about how Paul handled the pre-fight confrontation and the interview that followed, Chael Sonnen appreciation for Paul's fighting style is evident. Paul was more interested in the bizarre nature of the event and his part in it than he was in the technical tactics or the bout's probable conclusion. He barely touched on the technicalities of the fight until he spoke about his ability to withstand Tyson's strength. According to Sonnen, Paul's participation gained credibility from his refusal to get too technical about the fight strategy, which avoided the frequently staged controversy that is a hallmark of contemporary sports advertising. According to Sonnen, the most fascinating part of the bout is Netflix's involvement and what it could imply for boxing's future, as well as potentially for live sports broadcasting. Sonnen raises concerns about Netflix's approach and its effects on the sector in light of the platform's innovative decision to hold such a big athletic event. This curiosity arises from a larger context in which attempts to innovate in the boxing promotion arena have frequently encountered resistance, as demonstrated by Dana White's announcement of her public exit from boxing promotion because of the entrenched issues in the sport. Sonnen wonders if Netflix's foray into boxing is a sign of bigger plans for live sports streaming, and if this could serve as a trial run for other sports or events in the future. According to Sonnen, Netflix's decision might completely change how people watch sports events by providing a fresh approach that differs from conventional broadcast and pay-per-view options. What are your thoughts on this fight, though? Do you believe that this fight will turn out to be as successful as many people say? Tell us in the comments below. All of that for now. Remember to subscribe to and like the channel. To ensure that you never miss any more videos like this, turn on the bell for the most recent notifications. We appreciate your time and we'll see you in the next video.